Well, count me happily surprised because Lootstation has officially been unbanned on YouTube, and we actually have the exact reason for why he was banned in the first place. If you've been following the Fortnite community or this channel, you would know that Lootstation has been recently banned, and that seemed to make probably for one of the biggest stories in the last little while, at least since Chapter 6 came about. And I uploaded an entire, and I think it was like 40 minutes long, talking about what could possibly be going on with Lootstation. So I'm here to break it down for you today, and as always, we're going to be taking a look at replies from Lootstation, myself, and the Explore page over on Twitter to get a gauge on how people are feeling about this. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels. Let's start by pointing you over to this initial tweet by Lootstation. I am back, my channels have been restored, everything is explained in this video. Now, I highly suggest if you are involved with this at all, you should go give this a watch, because what I'm going to do is give you a very quick summary. There is so much more in depth that Lootstation goes over there, so if you're interested in this, go give Lootstation's video a watch. I will make sure it is pinned in the pinned comment down below for easy access for you. So, to sum this up, here's everything that you need to know, okay? We talk about like the reason why he officially got banned, and we're going to touch on the reason why he actually is back now. So, all of a sudden, Lootstation received a bunch of copyright strikes at the very same time. And what it seemed to be is because the reason his channel didn't get deleted in the first place was because you have a grace period to appeal. But from what it seems, YouTube had a bot because, and I don't know if this is actually true, I hear a lot of creators talk about this, and it really does seem to be true, that YouTube doesn't actually, a lot of times, look at the appeal. It kind of gets auto-denied by a bot. Again, I know that it's kind of up for speculation, that one, but you hear a lot of horror stories about this online. So, Lootstation was not able to get into contact, or for some time, with YouTube or Epic Games. It seemed to be because he got copyright striked and he was working very closely with Epic Games, that it was somebody pretending to be Epic Games, somebody who doesn't like Lootstation, and we know that Lootstation has a very, very fair amount of people that don't like him online. So then everybody was celebrating it. Everybody was happy. Everybody was hating on Lootstation because he was being lumped in with a group of people that lie, and to what people always accuse Lootstation of is scamming kids with XP methods. Lootstation did not belong in that group of people because he actually made legitimate XP videos. If you followed his instructions, you would get XP. The conversation for clickbait is not going to be, or XP as well, is not going to be talked about in this video because I already made like a 40-minute video diving into that. If you're interested, go check that out. Point being, a lot of people did not understand the situation. A lot of people really just dogpiled on Lootstation because a lot of other people were. Again, that is also explained in the other video. But Lootstation was in a pretty rough place. He was losing his channel. He wasn't getting into contact with YouTube, Epic Games, anything like that. And then his channel actually did get deleted. It was gone. And I personally had no hope. Don't get me wrong, I was hoping that Lootstation's channel would get back because I think this was wrong to happen for his channel. Plus, Lootstation is a friend of mine. And I just wanted to clear that because I just said that shockingly, right? I just didn't think that he would get his channel back. I was hoping that it would happen. I knew there was a little bit of a possibility, but I'm very happy to see that his channel is back. So now we have all of the answers, okay? We have all of the answers, and shockingly, it actually was Epic Games. What's strange about this is that Epic Games didn't give Lootstation a warning or anything like that, and what's weird is he got a bunch of copyright strikes. It turns out what Epic Games did not like is that Lootstation was using SEO for YouTube, okay? He was using the term glitch in his titles. Epic Games did not like that, so they just knocked his channel out. I don't know if, like, I guess they can, right? It just doesn't make sense to me that Epic Games goes, no, this guy's having glitch in his YouTube title, let's copyright strike him. I don't really understand how that works, but regardless, his channel actually did get taken down. After a very long story that Lootstation told, okay? Again, I want to point you over to his video because he goes really, really in-depth with what was going on. He ended up getting into contact with Epic Games and YouTube. And shockingly, it seemed like it was a pretty easy settlement over on Epic Games' side. But of course, like, Lootstation might have not made that public. We don't know exactly, like, how much negotiations really took place. But Epic Games ended up saying, hey, Lootstation, if you take the words glitch out of your title, and I don't know if there was any other words along with glitch, then you can have your channel back. We're okay with this. Very strange to me. I don't understand, first of all, why Epic Games wouldn't go to Lootstation, because obviously, like, Lootstation, and a lot of people, like, don't understand this, Lootstation works closely with Epic Games. He does promos. He is constantly, he's in all of the programs, right? Like, he works with Epic Games. I don't understand why he even still had a supporter creator code. There was no contact from Epic Games. It was just all of a sudden, the channel got terminated. by somebody being Epic Games. And I think the proper thing to assume was that it actually wasn't Epic Games because of how strange it was. You would think that somebody who works with Epic, or even just if Epic Games was taking down a major channel of the size of Lootstation's, you would think that they would just approach us and go, hey, we don't like you using the word glitch in your title. And then you can fix that, and if he doesn't, then you can get the channel taken down. That whole thing is very, very strange to me. I understand if Epic Games doesn't want like things like a XP glitch advertised online. I kind of get that, but you need to make that public. You need to make that known. You need to send out warnings to people like Lootstation who have their entire livelihood invested into a YouTube channel that has been okay for so long, and all of a sudden you don't like the term glitch, and now all of a sudden his channel gets taken down. I don't think that's just. I don't think that's fair. And if you guys follow the channel, you would know I'm typically very, very pro Epic Games. They're my favorite gaming company. I typically like a lot of the decisions they make, but I really, really don't like the way that they went about this. And I know you're going to comment down below and you're going to say something along the lines of like, well, of course you're going to say this about your friend. I'm not going to dive into defending all of that because I did in the previous video, guys. Understand this entire situation, and I am looking at this logically. I do not see a problem with what Lootstation did. We dove into it. I explained myself. Just please don't just copy some whatever you heard on Twitter, some NPC argument, drop it down below instead of actually hearing what I'm saying. If you're going to comment on the situation, go watch the entire video. This is literally about him just getting his account back. Understand what you're talking about before you comment down below, please. Because I have read too many things about people in my own comment sections on Twitter with Lootstation. Like, that even made the Explore page. Like, I've read too many things about people not knowing what they're talking about. Just please don't be a bot. Anyways, I was saying that I typically agree with a lot of things that Epic Games does, and I think it's important to call these things out, I guess, when something's not right. And I don't think the way that they approach this is right at all. I would say the same for anybody in Lootstation's situation. Now, if Lootstation was one of those people that people are making him out to be, because there are a ton of people online just making like the actual, hey, you get free V-Bucks right now if you press the subscribe button, things like that. I'm not talking about like the people memeing about it, because that also happens. You guys know what creators I'm talking about. The people who legitimately, like Lootstation's accused of, scam children, get the impressions that way. I don't know if I would just want Epic Games to straight up take them down because they are actually doing something not okay and damaging Epic Games' brand. Regardless, those are the accounts that Epic Games should be going after. It's just so strange to me that it's Lootstation out of all of them. Do you know how many creators use the XP glitch thing? It's an SEO term for YouTube. And maybe people at Epic Games don't know that, and I guess that's fair, but the right thing to do would be to contact these people that are in the partner program, people that you work closely with, instead of just leaving it to, hey, is this even Epic Games doing this? I know Lootstation was in contact with a lawyer too. I don't like the way that they went about this. Epic Games needs to do a little bit better in that case, and YouTube needs to do better in getting into contact with, and again, I'm assuming that's what it was. I hear a lot of horror stories about it. I personally never dealt with anything like this. If this is true about YouTube, I'm not saying it is, okay? If this is true about YouTube, where they have a bot that kind of auto-denies appeals, that's not okay either. They are appeals for a reason. You have this grace period for a reason, and if somebody, like in Lootstation's situation, where it's not right to have his channel just randomly taken down like this, YouTube needs to do better as well. So I do not like the way that this was went about personally, but at the end of the day, I'm so happy that Lootstation got his account back, or excuse me, his YouTube account back. I'm used to talking about like people in Fortnite. I'm very happy to see that Lootstation's okay. Seems like everything's going well for him. He has received a lot of hate. He's going strong, which is cool to see. He's going to keep grinding the content. I'm very, very happy for him. This was the right thing to do. But it's not just about what I think, guys. As always, we're going to take a look at replies to Lootstation, myself, and people over on the Explore page to kind of get a gauge on how people are talking about this. If you've been listening to the video so far, by the way, please hit like and subscribe on the channel if you're enjoying the content. Thank you very, very much, everybody. This is what I had to say over on X. If anyone would like to share their thoughts, I'll be including some in the video. If you comment and clearly don't understand the situation, I'm not including it. I'm just tired. I'm tired of reading replies that don't know what they're talking about when it comes to Lootstation's situation, because his mental health took a huge hit from this, from a lot of people just, oh, Lootstation scams kids, and not even like bothering to look into it. Lootstation, you're a piece of crap, you know? I'm just over that. But anyways, we make these types of videos all of the time. If you would like to participate in these, go follow me over on X at Clen YouTube or in the link tree, and there's an actual link in the description down below for you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get into it today. Joseph Mohammed had this to say: watch the entire video and it touched my heart. Really hope things goes well for him now, and I'm glad his channel's restored. Otherwise, I won't be able to finish my battle pass. This is something that people really ignore about Lootstation. There is an entire niche, there's an entire community of people who use Lootstation to complete the battle pass. Somebody like me, I mean, I could use Lootstation, but to be honest with you, I should use Lootstation now that I'm thinking about it. There's a lot of times where I don't finish my battle pass because I don't have time. I don't have time to do it. Lots of people want to finish a battle pass. They use XP methods like Lootstation gives, and they finish a battle pass. It's not like Lootstation is just making these maps to get views and get clicks and things like that. There's an entire community behind XP, and this is just one of those example tweets, but it is nice. In the video, like, I'm happy he's doing well as well, okay? Urgent had this to say about the situation. I have to be real. I have more questions now. Why did Epic deny it was them at first, and why are they striking someone over the easily changeable attribute glitch without warning? Of course, we may never know, so this is just a lesson to be more careful. Glad justice was done. Yeah, for all those XP creators out there, there's definitely some learning to do over here, because Epic Games doesn't like it when you talk about glitches in the title. Now that I think about it, maybe, I don't know, I've probably made videos on glitches before. Not XP glitches, but like, oh my god, I ran into this glitch in Fortnite. Is that okay now? Because we know that they don't like the word glitch. And I'm not even just saying that as a joke. Like, I know, like, how that can sound. I know that there's videos on my channel about, like, we just ran into this glitch. And even, like, the old water storm one, that one comes to mind because that was one of the first videos I made. I happened to have that glitch happen to me by accident, and I made a video on it. Is that okay, Epic Games? Like, I don't know. I wish Epic Games would speak up about that a little bit. Urgent's right. I do have a few more questions, and I wish that we knew what Epic Games was kind of thinking in the first place. I don't know, man. I don't know. Regardless, let's continue on to what Zariza Sunshine had to say. I'm glad he's back. He's one of the only channels that legitimately had XP maps that worked and explained what was on the thumbnails. There are so many of those who deserve to be taken down from the blatant lies. This channel was not one of them. Entirely accurate. Lootstation, as I've said so many times, has been lumped into a group of people on YouTube that he does not belong with. His XP methods are legitimate. The XP maps are legitimate. You get the XP for following Lootstation. Let's continue on to what Azer had to say. I believe it truly shows how Epic Games looks carefully into the community over topics that can be controversial, like banning XP channels, although I still believe that needed to be put in some restrictions. But even if you do believe that, okay, and if Epic Games were to agree with that, they need to speak up and they need to send warnings. You can't have something be okay for so long in Epic Games like, hey, we're going to pay you over in the island program, and you can get all these players in your map, you can publish the maps, you can advertise it, you can do whatever you want with these maps, but they can't just turn around and go, that's not okay anymore, and not tell anybody. You know, they need to issue warnings. That was the proper thing to do. Even if they did have a problem with Lootstation personally, I don't know, just this whole thing could have been avoided. Another user had this to say, haven't seen the video yet, but so far I find it absolutely disgusting. He gets banned for helping while others hate on him. But Renegade Raider comes out and does the exact same thing, showing XP glitches for the skin. And why Shinna doesn't get banned, etc. for it. I don't know if Shinna posted any XP glitches or something, but I do know for a fact, that's a very good point actually. Very good point. All of a sudden you need a bunch of XP to buy Renegade Raider. Hey, I saw XP methods everywhere. I saw glitches everywhere. It's important to note, I don't know if Shinna did it, so I'm not calling out Shinna directly or anything. I'm not saying I agree with that tweet. I saw it everywhere. Why is that okay? And as soon as Lootstation does it, he's the worst human being of all time. Like, have the logic be a little bit consistent. Hey, Lootstation's bad, but I mean, until I need to get my Renegade Raider, then I can use Lootstation's XP. But the next day he'll be bad, you know? Just doesn't make any sense to me. Let's continue on to Emmanuel. Epic needs to change how they interact with content creators and actually communicate with them. As for Lootstation, I'm actually kind of happy for him. I was on the hater's side when the situation first happened, but after I watched the video, I felt for him in his struggles. That's nice to see. It's always nice to see when people can change their mind, because you don't see that too often. I always find it sad when we have to commend people for that these days. But regardless, it was really nice to see. But I do agree with the first part of that. Epic Games does need to change how they interact with content creators when it comes to things like this. I don't have any contact with Epic Games. I don't think I've ever even... No, yeah, I haven't had any contact with Epic Games. I was thinking, like, was there anything for Support Creator? But no, I've never had any contact with Epic Games. So I don't know if there's, like, a typical way that Epic Games does things. But if they're going to have a problem with somebody, then yes, they do need to switch that up if they're going to go after somebody like Lootstation, okay? Rem had this to say. It's great that his channels have been restored. Was his content strategy a bit exploitative? Yes, but YouTube should have bigger priorities than deleting Fortnite YouTubers' accounts with only 3 days notice. How about diverting some of those resources to the adult content bots? I'm here for that. I'm very, very here for that. We need to fix this world one step at a time. But I do disagree with the content of Lootstations being exploitative. We can get in the clickbait argument, but I told you I'm not going to do that this video. We made an entire 40-minute video on the idea of clickbait. Lootstation talks about it in his video as well. Let's continue on to the next post. Cold had this to say: I'm really sorry because I sided with the haters, but now that I watched the video, I understand how hard it is, and you don't deserve it because I've been in your exact shoes in different ways multiple times. Don't hate on this guy. He literally almost, you never know when you're writing stuff online how much you can possibly have an effect on people, the people that you're talking to. You never really know how it is behind closed doors. Lootstation was a little bit more open about that in the video, and again, you can go watch that if you would like to. But again, it is very, very nice, and it shows like a certain part of your character. You know, if you're one of those people that were really hating on Lootstation and you actually gave Lootstation a chance by listening to him and then actually changing your mind about it. Most people in this world, if they dislike somebody or dislike somebody because of something that they saw online, they wouldn't even give somebody like Lootstation a chance. So I really, really respect that. And if you were a hater, you change your mind, you listen to Lootstation, and you now understand the situation better, I commend you for that. And I think that more people need to be like that in this world. But like I said earlier, guys, the video for Lootstation, it will be in the pinned comment if you would like to see it. But in the meantime, if you'd like to catch up on the entire situation when it first happened, then you can check out this video on screen right now. We dive into everything about that. I would love to have you guys over there. Thank you very much for watching. It's a happy day. Take care.